In this video, I'm going to give you 6 tips on how to signal correctly with a particular focus on parking and moving off, because I do get a lot of questions about signaling moving off and whether to leave the signals on when parking and things like that. So that's what I'm going to go through now in this video. But firstly, I want to let you know that I've added my PayPal information here on my YouTube channel about page. So I'll also leave a link in the description, but if you want to support me by giving me a couple of euros or a couple of dollars or a couple of pounds, you can do so by following the PayPal link in the about page. Any help would be much appreciated. So back to this video anyway on signals. So let's start now with some advice on signaling when parking.
So one of the important things about signaling when you're signaling to park is that you do not let the signal go off when the wheel straightens up. Let's have a look now. I'm going to park here now on the left, so I'll check my mirrors first and I'll signal, and I'm going to go in for the space here after the black car, so I'll just check my mirrors again. In I go, just coming in. Now watch how the wheel straightens up, how it turns off. It has to get back on, and I'm just going to park up there nice and parallel to the curb, and then I go handbrake first and then neutral. So as I was parking there, the signal attempted to come off there because it often does that, so it's signaling left now. So when I do that, very often the signal will self-correct, which can be a good thing. But if you're wanting to communicate with other people that your intention is to park, you don't want that to happen. So whether it's a test or not, you should make sure you keep your signal on until after you go handbrake first and then neutral, and only then you can turn it off if it's appropriate to turn it off. When you're parking as well, there's no need to put your hazard lights on. The hazard light symbol is here. If we have a look at this, this is the symbol for hazard warning lights. Now, they are only meant to be used if you're at the scene of an accident, or if you're broken down, or some form of emergency, like your car's getting towed or something like that. If you're doing a driving lesson, a driving test, there's no need to have your hazard lights on when you're parked in a space like this, because if you have those on, it just gives a misleading signal to other people behind you that you might be broken down. So you either don't indicate at all while you're parking, or you indicate left. It depends on the situation, but no need for hazard lights unless it's an emergency. Also, you should not be resting your foot on the brake as well. If you do have your foot on the brake, it only means that your brake lights are coming on, and it can dazzle other people, especially at night time. So there's no need to have your brake pedal pressed as you're waiting here in a parked position. You're far better off just having your feet ready, like to move off, like maybe have the right foot just hovering over the accelerator pedal like this, for example, and that'll be, you'll be more prepared to move off then when the time does come to pull away. As you will have noticed when we were parking here, the parking space I'm in is a kind of a designated bay. So if you look out here, I know it's raining, so I'm just going to put on these wipers here now. You will see that the lane I'm parking in, it's like the one in front there beyond the grass. But it's off the road. Basically, I'm not taking up any lane space of the road, the 2 lanes here on the right. So it's kind of off-road, I would say. Now, because it's off-road, there is no need for you to keep your indicator on like this when you're parking. I mean, you can if you want. It's not a major problem if you do, but I'm going to turn it off now because there's no need, because I'm already safely parked anyway. Now, if I was maybe stuck out a little bit, like we'll have an example of that now next, if I was slightly stuck out, that would be a different story. But because I'm safely off the road, I'm safely off the lane, I'm safely in a parking bay, we'll say, there's no need to have the indicator continuously on in that case. Another very important thing about parking is that you make sure that your handbrake is up fully after you've come in and after you stop safely beside the curb. So if we look down here, at the moment the handbrake is up fully. I'm just going to press the brake now so the car's not going to roll back around like that, just so you know. So there it is, it's down. So after you've stopped, after you've kind of lined it up with the curb and all that, make sure that you can put the button in first, bring it up till it starts resisting you, then get at least 2 or 3 clicks like that, and now you can see that it's up fully. And as well, make sure you let it down fully as well when you're moving off. I'll be moving off now in a second and you'll see me doing that. You have to, now it depends on the handbrake of course, but you have to make sure that you just bring it up a little bit to release it, button in fully, and don't release the button too early, because look at that now, it's only halfway down there, you see, so that's not down fully. It can be quite a common fault at times. So button in the full way, and you'll hear the little thud noise there. then it's down the full way. Okay, so I'll just put it back up now just to be safe. So it's very important, as I said, that you have your handbrake up fully after you've stopped and after you're successfully lined up, and that you use the button if you have one and let it down fully when you're moving off. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to move off now, and we'll have a look at that. So I'll go into first gear first of all. I'll indicate to the right, checking all 3 mirrors, blind spot, hit the bite, and handbrake down fully. You might have heard a little noise there to ensure that the handbrake went down fully. Some cars have a warning sound or a warning bell that might come on if the handbrake is not down fully, but it's so important to have it down fully when you're moving off. So I'm going to be parking on the left very soon, and it'll be a little bit different to the other places I parked in, because I might be slightly stuck out on the road, so to speak, but I'll be perfectly legally parked, but it'll just be slightly stuck out in the same way that car is down there, that silver car, for example. So if I want to deal with him first, I'm just going to check my mirrors, give a quick signal, just so, and I'm moving out nice and gradually. Now I'm already out. I'm going to park now just after him, so I'm going to check my mirrors, signal left, and second gear, just checking again. And I'm coming into this little box here now, little parking box. I'm just lining up nice there before the gate. Just nice straight wheel. Now handbrake first, and then neutral. So this is where I would advise the driving test or lesson candidate to leave the indicator on. That's if you're like sitting in the car and you're waiting further instructions from the tester or your driving instructor, leave the indicator on, because I'm slightly stuck out. So this car here now, that guy there, he knows now that I'm parked and I'm staying parked, at least for now. I'm not going to stay here for long, but by leaving the indicator on, it just highlights the car a little bit more, lets people know that you're there to a greater extent, and it's a communication device. So the car coming there now knows that I'm parked. As in previous examples, if I was more in off the road, if I wasn't taking up any lane space, let's say, well, in that case then I could allow the indicator just to go off. So that's my advice there, and this is just my advice. I'm not, if you have a driving instructor and he's telling you something different, it's not that either of us are wrong, it's just the way I see it. So don't think that this way is the only way and every other way is wrong. That's not the way it works, okay? This is just advice that you can take if you wish. So I'm about to move off now anyway, and I'm gonna show you something very, very important now, okay? So I'm going to move off, so I'll go into first gear first as always. Now I'm already indicating to the right, so no need to worry about that. And then I check my 3 mirrors and blind spot, and then, whoa, stop. Did you notice the mistake there? Because if you did, you will be very aware then of the many mistakes that I see under signals moving off in the driving test. Have a look at the signal. Which way am I signaling here? That's right, I'm still signaling to the left. So because of that, a lot of people tend to hear the signals. Like, we can all hear the tick-tock signal there now. You know, you can hear it. Now that means it's on, but it's on the wrong way if I want to move off. So what I have to ensure I do is I have to make sure that I indicate to the right when I want to move off, because I see this a lot from people doing the tests. For example, signals moving off is a problem. So let's try it again, and this time I'm going to make sure that I signal the correct way moving off, and you have to make sure that you don't let this mistake happen to you if you're doing a driving test in the future. So now I'm going to have just a quick scout around first. So into first gear, and I indicate to the right, then I check the 3 mirrors, and a good blind spot. I'm going to look there then again, all good, and checking my mirrors as I move off, and it's all clear. And I'm coming out gradually then for this car here, nice and gradually, so I don't make a swerve at the end. So you'll see there, it was very, very, very important there that I just made sure that I was signaling the correct way, because so many people leave the left indicator on there by accident.
So that's just about it for this video on signals. I hope it helped you. If you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know if you have any queries or questions in the comment section. Thank you, and I will see you soon.